The night air was thick with an oppressive humidity that clung to my skin like a damp shroud. I stumbled through the dense undergrowth of the Colombian jungle, my heart pounding so loudly I feared it might give away my position. The moonlight barely penetrated the canopy above, leaving me in near total darkness. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't rest. Not with that thing out there. It had all started just a few hours ago. I, Benjamin, a 34-year-old wildlife photographer, had ventured into this remote part of Colombia in search of rare nocturnal species. Little did I know that I would become the prey. The first howl echoed through the trees just as I was setting up my camera trap. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard before, a chilling mix of wolf and something almost human. I froze, my instincts screaming at me to run, but my curiosity got the better of me. That was my first mistake. I crept toward the source of the sound, my camera at the ready. The forest had gone eerily silent, as if every creature was holding its breath. Then I saw it, a pair of glowing yellow eyes in the darkness, set too high off the ground to belong to any normal wolf. Before I could react, the beast lunged. In the split second before I turned to run, I caught a glimpse of its massive form, a nightmarish fusion of man and wolf, with razor-sharp claws and fangs that gleamed in the moonlight. I ran. Oh God, how I ran. Branches whipped at my face. Roots threatened to trip me at every step. But the terror coursing through my veins kept me moving. The creature's hot breath seemed to always be just inches from my neck, its growls sending shivers down my spine. Now as I write this on my phone, hidden in the hollow of a massive ceiba tree, I can still hear it out there, searching, hunting. The locals in the nearby village had warned me about venturing into the jungle at night. They spoke of an ancient curse, of men who turned into beasts under the full moon. I had dismissed their tales as superstition. Now I would give anything to go back in time and heed their warnings. A twig snaps nearby, and I hold my breath. The scratching of claws on bark sends my heart rate skyrocketing. It's close, too close. I peer out of my hiding spot, and for a moment, the clouds part, bathing the forest in pale moonlight. And there it stands, the werewolf in all its horrifying glory. It's at least 8 feet tall, with bulging muscles covered in thick, matted fur. Its snout is elongated, filled with teeth that could easily tear me to shreds. But it's the eyes that truly terrify me. Yellow, intelligent, and filled with an inhuman hunger. Our gazes lock, and in that moment, I know that this is no mere animal. There's a cruel intelligence behind those eyes, a sadistic pleasure in the hunt. This creature isn't just trying to feed, it's enjoying my fear. I scramble deeper into the hollow, praying that the opening is too small for the beast to follow. The sound of splintering wood tells me my prayers have gone unanswered. Massive claws rip into the tree, tearing away chunks of wood as if they were paper. I press myself against the far side of the hollow, my mind racing for a way out of this nightmare. My hand brushes against something smooth and cold, a piece of quartz, its edge sharp enough to cut. It's not much, but it's the only weapon I have. The werewolf's arm plunges into the hollow, its claws inches from my face. In a burst of desperate courage, I slash at it with the quartz. The beast roars in pain and fury, momentarily withdrawing its arm. I seize the opportunity, bursting out of my hiding spot and sprinting in the opposite direction. Behind me, I hear the werewolf's howl of rage, followed by the sound of pursuit. The jungle becomes a blur as I run for my life. Every shadow seems to hide another monster, every sound a potential threat. My lungs burn, my muscles scream in protest, but I don't dare slow down. Suddenly, the ground disappears beneath my feet. I tumble down a steep embankment, rocks and branches battering my body as I fall. I land hard at the bottom, the wind knocked out of me. Dazed and in pain, I look up to see the werewolf perched at the top of the slope, its yellow eyes gleaming with triumph. It begins to descend, taking its time now that it knows I'm trapped. I try to stand, but a sharp pain in my ankle tells me it's sprained, if not broken. This is it, I think. This is how I die. But then I notice something, the sound of rushing water. I turn my head to see a fast-moving river just a few yards away. It's a long shot, but it's my only chance. I start crawling towards the water, every movement sending waves of pain through my battered body. The werewolf lets out a low, rumbling growl. It's toying with me now, savoring my helplessness. Just as I reach the riverbank, I feel a searing pain across my back. The creature's claws tear through my shirt and into my flesh. I cry out in agony but manage to roll into the water. The current immediately sweeps me away. I hear the werewolf's furious roar fading into the distance as the river carries me downstream. The cold water numbs my pain, but I know I can't stay in here long. The temperature and my injuries will soon become deadly. After what feels like an eternity, I manage to grab onto a low-hanging branch and pull myself onto the shore. I lie there gasping for breath, my body a canvas of cuts, bruises, and that terrible gash across my back. As the adrenaline fades, the full horror of what I've experienced begins to sink in. Werewolves are real, and one is hunting me. I force myself to my feet, wincing at the pain in my ankle. I need to find help, to warn others. But a chilling thought stops me cold. What if the werewolf isn't the only one of its kind? What if there's a whole pack of them out here? The sound of a distant howl confirms my worst fears. There are more of them, and they're on the hunt. I limp forward, each step a battle against pain and exhaustion. The jungle seems to close in around me, every shadow potentially hiding a monstrous predator. I've lost my phone, my camera, everything except the clothes on my back and the terrifying knowledge of what lurks in these woods. As I stumble through the undergrowth, my mind races with questions. How long have these creatures been here? Are they truly cursed humans or something else entirely? And most pressingly, how can I possibly survive until dawn? A rustling in the bushes ahead makes me freeze. Slowly, cautiously, I peer through the foliage. What I see makes my blood run cold. It's not the werewolf that attacked me earlier. This one is smaller, but no less terrifying. Its fur is a mottled gray, and its eyes glow with an eerie green light. It hasn't noticed me yet, too busy tearing into the carcass of some unfortunate animal. I begin to back away slowly, trying to control my ragged breathing. But fate is not on my side. My injured ankle gives way, and I stumble, snapping a twig underfoot. The werewolf's head snaps up, its muzzle dripping with blood. Our eyes meet, and for a moment, time seems to stand still. Then it lets out a bone-chilling howl, alerting its pack to my presence. I turn and run, ignoring the searing pain in my ankle and the warm trickle of blood down my back. The sound of pursuit fills the air. Not just one werewolf now, but many. The pack is on the hunt, and I am their prey. Trees whip past me as I sprint through the jungle, my lungs burning with each desperate breath. I can hear them getting closer, their growls and snarls filling the air. My only hope is to find some kind of shelter, somewhere I can hide or defend myself. As if in answer to my silent prayer, I spot a cliff face looming ahead. And there, at its base, is the dark opening of a cave. It's a risk. I could be trapping myself, but it's the only option I have. I dive into the cave just as one of the werewolves lunges for me. Its claws scrape against my calf, drawing blood, but I manage to scramble deeper into the cavern. The opening is narrow, too narrow for the bulky creatures to follow easily, but I know it won't hold them for long. I press myself against the damp cave wall, trying to quiet my breathing. Outside, I can hear the werewolves snarling and clawing at the entrance. One of them lets out a frustrated howl that echoes through the cave, sending shivers down my spine. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I realize the cave goes deeper than I initially thought. Perhaps there's another way out, or at least somewhere I can hide until sunrise. Surely these creatures must return to human form when the sun rises, right? I begin to move deeper into the cave, using the wall as a guide. The sounds of the werewolves fade slightly, but I know they're still out there, waiting. My hand brushes against something smooth and cold. Not rock, but metal. Squinting in the darkness, I can just make out the shape of an old mining cart on rusty tracks. A plan begins to form in my mind. It's dangerous, possibly suicidal, but it's the only chance I have. I start pushing the cart, wincing at the screech of metal on metal. The werewolves outside grow more frenzied at the sound. Just as I hear the scrape of claws on stone, they've managed to start squeezing through the opening. I leap into the cart and release the brake. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happens. Then with a lurch, the cart begins to move. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, the cart races down the tracks into the depths of the cave. Behind me, I hear the enraged howls of the werewolves, their cries echoing off the cave walls. The wind rushes past me as the cart picks up speed, plunging me deeper into the unknown darkness. Suddenly, there's a flash of moonlight ahead. The cave opens up, and I realize with horror that the tracks end at the mouth of the cave, a cave that opens up on the side of a cliff. Time seems to slow as the cart rockets out of the cave entrance and into open air. For a moment, I'm suspended in the moonlight, the lush Colombian jungle spread out below me. Then gravity takes hold, and I'm falling. I leap from the cart just before it begins its plummet, my hands grasping desperately for anything to break my fall. My fingers close around a vine, and I jerk to a painful stop that nearly dislocates my shoulders. I hang there, heart pounding, as the cart crashes into the canopy below. Looking up, I see the werewolves at the cave entrance, their eyes glowing with malevolent fury. But they're hesitating at the edge, unwilling or unable to follow my desperate plunge. I begin to climb down the vine, my muscles screaming in protest. I can only hope that I can reach the ground and find help before the werewolves find another way down. As I descend, I realize that the sky is beginning to lighten. Dawn is approaching. Just as my feet touch the ground, a horrifying chorus of howls erupts from above. I look up to see the werewolves descending the cliff face with terrifying speed and agility. The race isn't over yet. I sprint through the jungle once more, my body running on nothing but fear and adrenaline. The sounds of pursuit grow closer with each passing second. Just as I feel claws grazing my back, I burst through the tree line onto a dirt road. And there, like a miracle, is a battered old truck bouncing down the road. I wave my arms frantically, screaming for help. The truck screeches to a halt, and an old man leans out, his eyes widening at my appearance and the sounds of snarling behind me. "Get in!" he yells in Spanish. I don't need to be told twice. I dive into the passenger seat just as the first werewolf breaks through the foliage. The old man floors the accelerator, and we tear off down the road. In the side mirror, I watch as the pack of werewolves gives chase for a few hundred yards before slowly fading into the distance. As the adrenaline begins to wear off, the pain of my injuries crashes over me like a wave. The old man eyes me warily. "The hombres lobo," he mutters. "You're lucky to be alive." I nod, unable to speak. As we drive towards the rising sun, I realize that my life will never be the same. I've survived a nightmare, but I've also gained knowledge that will haunt me forever. The werewolves of Columbia are real, and I have a feeling my encounter with them is far from over. Even now, as we speed towards safety, I can't shake the feeling that yellow eyes are watching me from the shadows, waiting for the next full moon to continue the hunt. For now, I'm safe, but as I watch the sun rise over the Colombian jungle, I know that somewhere out there, the werewolves are waiting, and I can't help but wonder, am I truly safe, or has my ordeal only just begun? The old man seems to sense my unease. "They'll be back," he says softly. "They always come back." I close my eyes, exhausted beyond belief, but knowing that true rest will be hard to come by from now on. The howls of the werewolves echo in my mind, a chilling reminder of the terror that now lurks in the shadows of my world. As we drive into the small village, I see the fearful looks on the faces of the locals. They know. They've always known. And now so do I. The truck comes to a stop outside a small clinic. As the old man helps me out, I take one last look at the jungle behind us. For a moment, I swear I see a pair of yellow eyes watching from the tree line. Then they're gone, leaving me to wonder if it was real or just a product of my traumatized mind. One thing is certain, the night may be over, but my nightmare has only just begun. The werewolves of Columbia are real, and I have a feeling they're not done with me yet. Not by a long shot.